General Hospital spoilers and updates tease Kristina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mansi, might just be ready to embrace the possibility of love once more, and this time with an unexpected partner. With Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, now working as a bartender at Charlie's Pub, he has certainly carved out a significant spot in Kristina's life. General Hospital spoilers. Lucky Spencer and Kristina Corinthos Davis shared a toast. Or was it a chem test? In the January 22 episode, Lucky and Kristina raised their glasses in celebration of Charlie's grand reopening. There was a certain sparkle between them as they playfully alluded to the idea that a Corinthos and a Spencer partnership is always a winning combination. While it's possible that the writers of GH may choose to keep their relationship strictly platonic, we can't ignore the intriguing possibility of a romantic connection. It felt as though the show was putting Lucky and Kristina through a chemistry evaluation, so do you think they aced it? Some fans might oppose the notion of Lucky and Kristina becoming romantically involved, while others may be curious to explore the potential of this budding couple. GH spoilers. A Kristina Corinthos Davis, Lucky Spencer, and Liz Weber triangle. We are certainly witnessing the emergence of a potential love triangle involving Kristina, Lucky, and Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, at this stage. While Liz and Lucky have been rekindling their connection, several obstacles stand in the way of a complete romantic reunion. Elizabeth cannot simply overlook Lucky's history of leaving Port Charles and the loved ones he leaves behind, particularly Aidan Weber, Colin Cassidy. Liz will likely be cautious about diving back into a relationship with Lucky as she seeks to safeguard her own emotions. The thought of falling deeply for him only to face another painful departure is a worry that will undoubtedly linger in her thoughts. General Hospital spoilers. Kristina Corinthos Davis might look at Lucky Spencer differently. Kristina, in contrast, might gaze at Lucky and begin to envision a world of fresh opportunities. During her conversation with Elizabeth at the close of the January 22 episode, a smile danced on her lips as she remarked on how wonderful it would be to have Lucky around. Should Kristina's feelings for Lucky blossom into something more romantic, you can be sure that Liz will be the first to pick up on it. This could ignite a wave of unexpected jealousy in Elizabeth, prompting her to reevaluate her own feelings for Lucky. Kristina might be walking a tightrope toward heartbreak, considering that Elizabeth is arguably Lucky's one true love, but only time will reveal how this intricate story unfolds. A spark among shadows, a General Hospital tale. In the dimly lit, warm atmosphere of Charlie's Pub, the scent of freshly polished wood mingled with the tang of citrus from the bar. The reopening had drawn a lively crowd, their laughter and chatter filling the space. Kristina Corinthos Davis leaned on the polished countertop, her radiant smile lighting up the room. Lucky Spencer, behind the bar, moved with the ease of someone who had finally found his rhythm in life. "Here's to new beginnings," Lucky said, raising his glass toward Kristina. "And unexpected partnerships," Kristina replied, clinking her glass against his. The moment hung between them, fleeting yet charged. Kristina felt it, the spark. Whether it was the thrill of the evening or something deeper, she couldn't deny the warmth that spread through her chest as their eyes locked. Lucky's crooked smile carried a boyish charm, yet there was a depth to him that intrigued her. A crossroads of past and present. Kristina couldn't help but replay their toast in her mind as she moved among the guests, her father Sonny Corinthos' voice occasionally breaking into her thoughts. His presence at the reopening had been brief but supportive as always. Sonny was proud of Kristina for taking a more active role in running Charlie's. At the end of the night, as the crowd thinned and the last few glasses were collected, Kristina found herself back at the bar. Lucky was wiping down the counter, his sleeves rolled up to reveal the tattoos on his forearms, faint but visible reminders of his past. "You've got a knack for this, Lucky," she said, sliding onto a stool. He laughed, setting the rag down. Not bad for someone who's never been behind a bar before, right? Kristina tilted her head. Not bad at all. Why Charlie's, though? With everything you've done, it seems like a step sideways. Lucky hesitated, then met her gaze. Sometimes you need a fresh start. Port Charles holds a lot of ghosts for me, but it also feels like home. I figured if I'm going to rebuild, why not do it here? His honesty surprised her. Most people would gloss over the rough edges of their lives, but Lucky owned them. I did that, Kristina said softly. This place was my way of starting over too. After everything that happened with Dawn of Day, I needed something real to hold on to. Lucky nodded, his expression thoughtful. Looks like we're both chasing stability in our own way. Old flames and new embers. The following week brought its share of complications. Elizabeth Weber, Lucky's former wife and longtime confidant, walked into Charlie's one evening. Her arrival was as unassuming as ever, but Kristina noticed how Lucky's demeanor shifted. There was a tenderness in his voice when he greeted Liz, a familiarity that spoke of years shared in battles fought together. Kristina kept herself busy, trying not to focus on the easy rapport between them. Still, she couldn't ignore the pang of something unfamiliar, jealousy perhaps. Later that night, as Liz lingered at the bar, Kristina approached with a bright smile. "Liz, it's good to see you," she said, her voice genuine despite the tightness in her chest. "Kristina," Liz replied warmly, "you've done a great job with the place. It's got a lot of character." "Thanks. Lucky's been a huge help," Kristina said, glancing his way. Liz's smile faltered slightly, and Kristina caught it, a flicker of something unspoken. As the weeks passed, Kristina began to notice the small shifts in the dynamic between herself, Lucky, and Liz. While Lucky was steadfast in his role at Charlie's and clearly invested in his fresh start, there was an undeniable history between him and Liz. A budding connection. One quiet evening, Kristina and Lucky found themselves alone at the bar after closing. The jukebox hummed in the background, and the stillness was comforting. Kristina leaned on the counter, watching as Lucky methodically cleaned a row of glasses. "Can I ask you something?" "Shoot," Lucky said, glancing up with a small smile. "Do you ever feel like your past defines you? Like no matter how far you run or how much you change, it's always there, waiting?" Lucky set the glass down and leaned against the counter, his expression serious. "All the time, but I've learned something. It's not about running from it. It's about owning it. The good, the bad, all of it." Kristina nodded, his words resonating with her. "I've been trying to do that too. It's not easy, though." "No, it's not," Lucky admitted. "But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you don't have to do it alone." The words hung between them, heavy with meaning. Kristina felt her heart quicken, the walls she'd carefully built around herself beginning to crack. A turning point. One night, as Kristina prepared to close up, Liz walked in, her expression guarded. "I need to talk to you," Liz said, her tone steady but firm. Kristina's brows furrowed, but she nodded. "Sure, what's on your mind?" Liz hesitated before speaking. "I think there's something happening between you and Lucky. And before things go any further, I need to know, are you serious about him?" The directness of the question caught Kristina off guard. I don't know," she admitted. "I like him, but I didn't realize I'd have to answer for that." Liz's expression softened. "I'm not trying to start a fight. Lucky and I have a long history, and I don't want to see him get hurt. Or you, for that matter." Kristina appreciated Liz's honesty, even if it stung. "I get it, but maybe Lucky deserves the chance to figure things out for himself." Liz nodded, her eyes searching Kristina's. "You're right, he does. Just be careful, okay?" The spark ignites. In the days that followed, Kristina and Lucky grew closer. Their shared moments became more frequent, more intimate. Whether it was a shared laugh over a spilled drink or a quiet conversation about their hopes and fears, the connection between them deepened. But the shadow of Liz's lingering feelings loomed large. Kristina couldn't ignore the history they shared, nor the possibility that Lucky might still harbor feelings for his former flame. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the world outside the pub turned golden, Lucky and Kristina sat on the back steps of Charlie's. "Do you ever wonder if we're crazy for even trying this?" Kristina asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Lucky chuckled. "All the time, but maybe that's what makes it worth it." Kristina turned to him, her heart pounding. "I'm scared, Lucky, of getting hurt, of losing myself again."